So I see a good setup. I'm at EuroCAD. Let me go ahead and buy this before it's too late. I have about $3,000 in my account. Let me go ahead and hit buy. I'm at 50 cents a pip right here. Let's do that. Buy by market. Wait a minute, not enough money. I wonder why not. Let me go back. I don't have enough leverage. I think I can go ahead and put 20 cents a pip. Buy by market. There you go. Nice. Hey guys, Brian Horton with BK Forex Academy again. Now, how many of you guys have opened your MetaTrader 4, whatever platform you're using, you put in a lot size and it said you didn't have enough money to execute that trade? Well, you know what? It all depends on the leverage and the account balance that you have. Luckily, I'm going to teach you step by step in as simple terms as possible what leverage is and how you can utilize that based on your trading needs. Leverage can either help you or hurt you, and I'll go ahead and break that down to you. So let's look at some leverage ratios. So it looks like this. This is my MetaTrader 4 platform here. You'll see a part where it says leverage, and you'll see 1 to 1, 1 to 10, 1 to 33, 1 to 50, and so on and so forth. So your broker may have different leverage ratios in mind, or it may have even more. But I'm going to put some examples up on the screen so you can take a look and we'll work with that. All right. So we have 1 to 10, 1 to 25, 1 to 33, 1 to 50, 1 to 100, 1 to 300. We're going to use that for example for today. Okay. So don't be afraid of these ratios here. If you're new, we're going to dissect that here. So for the 1 to 10 ratio, all that means is that for every $1 you have in your account, your broker will give you $10 in buying power. They won't physically give you $10 that you can actually take out and say, hey, this is my $10. It just gives you leverage so you can enter more trades than just your $1. Okay. And I'll break that down. For 1 to 25 ratio, that means for every $1 you have, they would give you $25. So for example, if I had $2 and I chose the 1 to 25 ratio, it would give me $50 in buying power. So that just doubled it. Okay. For 1 to 33, every $1 I have, they would give me $33, 1 to 50, they would give me $50, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's break this down because we normally don't put $1 in our account because we can't trade it. Our broker won't allow us. So let's say we put in 1,000 US dollars into your trading account. And these ratios doesn't just apply to dollars. Let's say you are in Britain. If you had 1 to 10 ratio, that means if you had £1, your broker would give you 10 pounds of buying power. If you were in Canada, if you chose the 1 to 33 ratio, for every $1 Canadian, they would give you 33 Canadian dollars in buying power. So it just depends on what currency you're trading. But for this example, let's say we put in $1,000 into our trading account of US dollars. There's our $1,000. If I chose the 1 to 10 ratio, our broker would give us $10,000 in buying power. Like I said, I can't stress this enough. They're not giving us $10,000 to keep. They're only putting $10,000 of leverage to trade so we can enter more trades if we like, or enter more than our $1,000 will allow us to. The next example, the 1 to 25 ratio, if we put in $1,000, that simply means that our broker would give us $25,000 in buying power, meaning we can put in more trades than our $1,000 can give us. So that simply means that our broker is hooking us up. In other words, they allow us to trade more. Now, if we trade more of buying power, that means we only have a certain amount of trades before our account is wiped out. We have fewer trades before our account is wiped out. If we didn't have any leverage at all, we will have more trades, but we're trading less money. And I'll show you what that means. All right, let's say that I did not have leverage. Okay. In other words, I used 1 to 1 ratio on my broker account. For example, let's say we didn't have any leverage or didn't use any leverage. So that means that every $1 I put in, I only have $1 to trade. So for this example, I put in $1,000 into my trading account, which is right here. And every $1,000 or 1,000 units, depending on what currency you have, equals a micro lot. And a micro lot represents 1,000 units of currency. So if you're in Canada, you put in 1,000 Canadian dollars, then you have 1,000 units of currency. Okay. Now here is the trick here. This is something you have to understand. For every micro lot, or every $1,000 we have, we can only trade 10 cents a pip. no more. So if you go into your trading platform, you put in $1,000, and if you were to put 1-to-1 ratio, you cannot put more than 10-cent lot size when you're trading. So that's why someone would want to use leverage, for example, 1-to-33, because they can trade more than 10 cents a pip. If I want to trade 10 cents a pip and then I look into another currency pair and I want to trade something else, maybe 20 cents a pip, I can do that if I use leverage. But if I didn't and I only had $1,000, I can trade no more than 10 cents a pip. Let's break it down further. If I deposited 10,000 US dollars into my account, 10,000 units means that it's considered a mini lot, which represents 10,000 units. Doesn't matter which pair you have. Japanese, I believe it's 100,000 units. But for the US pairs, Britain, Australian, Canadian, so on and so forth, that means that every 10,000 units you put in there is considered a mini lot. And for every one mini lot equals, I can't trade more than $1 a pip. So if I put in $10,000 now and I didn't use leverage, I use 1-to-1, which means that every $10,000 I put in my account, I have $10,000 of buying power. I cannot trade more than $1 a pip. If I try to put in $2 a pip, it won't allow me. If I put in $1 a pip in one entry and then I try to put in another dollar somewhere else, it will not let me. It will say I do not have enough money. And last but not least, here's another example. Multiply by 10. Now let's say I put in 100,000 US dollars into my account. That's considered a standard lot, which represents 100,000 units of currency. That simply means I cannot trade no more than $10 a pip. So if I have $100,000 in my trading account and I put in 10,000, if I try to put in $11 a pip, it will not let me. Okay. And I'm going to talk a little bit about margin call in a moment, because even though I have $10 a pip that I can trade, it probably won't even let me do that. I can maybe put in $9 a pip, because your broker would not allow you to do too much, because when you enter in a price or a trade, it may wipe your account out. So that's a whole different lesson, but we're just looking at leverage and how to utilize that. Let's look at a live example on my MetaTrader 4 so we can have a better understanding. All right, so I have a demo account opened, okay, and some fake information here. But what I want you guys to understand is if you look at leverage at the bottom, you select that and you have your list as we mentioned earlier, but I'm going to select 1-to-1, meaning there's no leverage. For every $1 I have, I can only use $1 buying power, but we can't. The smallest is the micro lot. So that means that for every 1,000 US dollars that I have in my account, I can trade no more than 10 cents a pip. So if I go to my deposit, I would use $1,000 just to show you, but my mobile phone doesn't allow me to use the 1,000. So I'm just going to use 3,000 here. So that means that I have $3,000 in my account, and I'm going to use 1-to-1 leverage, which means that I have $3,000 of buying power. So remember, $1,000 means that I can trade no more than 10 cents a pip. So if I have $3,000 in there, that means I have 3 micro lots. And that means I can trade no more than 30 cents a pip, right? Does it make sense? So $1,000 means I can trade no more than 10 cents a pip. $3,000 means I can trade no more than 30 cents a pip. If I have 4,000, that's 4 micro lots, which means that I can trade no more than 40 cents a pip. So let's go ahead and create the account, and done. All right. So if I go ahead and place, so I have 3,000 in my account. If I go ahead and place an order, and this is how I change my lot size, that's 10 cents a pip, 20 cents a pip, 30 cents, 40, 50, and so on and so forth. So if I do 30 cents a pip, it should allow me to enter a trade. But remember, I told you about margin call. It may not allow me to quite do 30 cents a pip. So I probably can only do 20 cents a pip because my broker wouldn't allow me to max out. So if I do 30 cents a pip, watch this. If I hit buy at the bottom, it's going to say I don't have enough money. Let's go back. If I do 40 cents a pip, if I hit buy or sell, I don't have enough money. But if I do 20 cents, right, and I hit buy, it's going to allow me to put in the trade right there, and I can start making money. I cannot trade no more than 20 cents a pip in any given chance. So if I want to put in another trade, if I want to put in a different pair or even the same pair, and let's say I want to do 10 cents a pip, so that would be a total of 30 overall. Let's say I want to buy it. I don't have enough money because I'm using that 1-to-1 leverage. Okay, let's go ahead and go back and let's create another account. I'm going to do a demo account, Trader's Way. Let's use that same $3,000. And then this time I'm going to use 1 to 33. So that means that every $1 I have, the broker is going to give me $33 in buying power, right? So if I go ahead and create the account, done. Now, if I want to go ahead and put in an order, and let's say I want to do 50 cents a pip, hit buy, it will allow me. And then I can even go back and put in more orders. Let's see if I can do $1 a pip. And it allowed me, because the broker allowed me to do that because they provided me buying power through the power of leverage. So now I have two positions open. I have $1 position open here, and then I have a 50-cent position open, total of $1.50. I can put in some more. I can put in another $1. Let's do $2. And there you go. If I only used one-to-one leverage using my own money of $3,000 in this case, without the power of leverage that the broker provided me, I can do no more than 20 cents a pip. Guys, I'm so sorry I have to depart, but if you want to learn more, go ahead and check out our website, bkforexacademy.com. Join our Telegram. We provide free information every single day on there, free trading tips. And then also, we love to interact with you on our Instagram. Links in our bio, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed day.